So I've been wanting to make this video for a few days now, but for some reason life just got in the way, and that's okay. That's just the way it is. Things are supposed to happen when they're supposed to happen anyway. So here we are. Essentially, if you've been rocking with me, and I mean you have been, so that's it. But we've gone through a few things, and we've just essentially gone through the barrier of the matrix, kind of Saturnian matrix illusion, right? So we find ourselves on the outskirts of the illusion program. The bad news is we are still in the construct, because as long as we're in human bodies, we will still experience the construct. Zion is still in the matrix, okay? But here, the rules are different, okay? Here, architects exist here, writers of reality exist here, seers, stuff like that. So the manipulation of energy here is different, okay? But in order for your experience in this place to make a lot of sense, I know if you've been rocking with me, you've unlearned a lot of things, but there's one major program you need to unlearn, which is the victim program, yeah? Without that, it's almost like a mandatory test you have to pass in order for you to actually get into the nuts and bolts of the game. Because I prepared a lecture for explaining how the Zodiac game works. Something I spent about 3 months on, but I feel like before we get into that program, we need to talk about some of the programs that linger even once you become aware of the previous kind of like make-believe world, and once you break through the glass. So I'm going to talk to you about the victim program and why victims don't exist, why everything you actually went through, you had to go through, you deserved it. Actually, trust me, you did. I'm going to show you how it all works, okay? So I'm going to get into the visual. But before I get into the visual, I wanted to mention a couple of things. You remember I did a kind of like a mixtape series on the human computer, because I've been talking about the human computer for a while now. Yeah, you are a computing device, part physical, part non-physical, yeah? Hardware and software together. And like I said, I think I mentioned this back along, but if I didn't, let me reiterate. So the hardware that most people are obsessed about actually isn't worth anything. It's just vibration of nothingness taken form, yeah? The matrix code is collapsed based on a vibration to appear as something, but it's actually nothingness. Now, when you think of it in a 3D sense, right? If I got you the fanciest computer in the world, iMac something, whatever, and the software didn't work, you could only sell it for scraps, yeah? Because that's what it's actually worth. That's what your body is worth. So your obsession with your dick and pussy and all that kind of stuff is worth scraps, okay? Now, the real value is what's actually inside the configuration, the thing that's actually running the machine, yeah, the software. That's where the true value is, yeah? Also, but the value, the software which gives it the value, is only valuable in relation to how optimum or how well maintained, well looked after, repurposed or whatever the physical hardware is. Otherwise, again, you'll come into problems, yeah? So you need to also look after the very thing that you're in. You need to treat the temple as a temple, okay? That involves what you consume, everything you consume from all angles, yeah? And, all those sorts of things. It's really important. So that's just a little touch up on the human computer. And another thing I also need to mention before I get into the video, we are connected in a grid. We're all connected to each other as computers, and we are also connected to the kind of like the master server thing, yeah? That's actually like an oxymoron, isn't it? The master server. Yeah, that kind of like the main power source, yeah, where the the kind of like the software or the internet is kind of like emanating from. This main server thing is, think of it as source, yeah, or the source or God energy. This thing powers itself because the power comes from itself. It's beyond our comprehension, yeah. But even in a human sense, if we had a super duper server farm, yeah, it would have to be powered by electricity, yeah, or solar power or wind power or hydro electricity or coal or nuclear or whatever. But all those things that will power the super powerful thing are aspects of the very same consciousness. Do you see? So it's like electricity comes from consciousness itself. And if it's powering something, then that means that consciousness itself is what's making electricity generation possible in order to power the thing. So it powers itself. It's beyond our understanding, yeah? But in the 3D sense, I'm just trying to help you understand. Now, this master server thing is connected to all the computers, yeah? All the human computers, all across the board. Low vibration, high vibration is connected to all of them, yeah? The ones, actually, I'll explain that more in the visual, but so that we're all connected to the thing, but we're also connected to each other, yeah? So two connections. We're connected to each other physically, and this is what we can call, like your relatives and stuff like that. But say, for instance, you have a relative you've never met, never spoken to. It's just like me taking two computers that are off and connecting them together by USB. Doesn't mean anything. It's just some kind of thing, right? But a true connection comes from the emotional connection, which this is the 3D explanation, but when you look at it from the computing standpoint, is the software to software kind of interaction, the interface between the actual things that are running the hardware when they actually connect with each other. That's where the true kind of connection exists, okay? Or the kind of like more powerful or more valuable connection exists, okay? So that's just the kind of like summary before I get into the visual. So I'm going to do the visual now, okay? Okay, so this will be the main server thing, yeah, that powers itself, yeah? So this is the thing that we can't fully grasp. But it's connected to all the computers, all the human computers, if you like, yeah? All of them. But there are some computers that have a more direct connection to this thing. They're closer to this thing, yeah? So this can be seen as humans or beings that have a higher bandwidth, yeah? So they have a direct connection. They bend reality more, they run more optimally, and they have a deeper understanding of this thing and how this thing is seeking to experience the machines, yeah, the human computers, yeah, and what it wants to experience through them and with them, yeah? They have a deeper understanding of that. Now, there are other devices or other human computers that are lower in bandwidth or lower vibration, if you like, yeah? The stupid people, yeah? They are here because of the choices they make and the beliefs they hold. Nobody pushed them there. They pushed themselves there because think of these human computers as mobile, so they can move around. And each time they make a dumb decision, they keep moving down and down and down, yeah? Then they end up here, which means that naturally there's more of a distance between them and the server, or the master server, if you like. They still do have a connection to it though, but it's through a proxy. And this proxy is the program which reinforces things like physicality, fucking dogma, religion, politics, stupid stuff like that, yeah? So that acts as a proxy between them and source, yeah? Because they don't actually see reality for what it is. They see reality, but they see it through a lens of bullshit. So these are the kind of people that you find, that enjoy or participate in stupid stuff like TikTok challenges and mukbangs, and they seek validation and live for other people, engage in pornography and social media type stupidness because they think they're interacting with others because they're obsessed with physicality. Hold on one sec, something's in my eye. Yeah, so that's them, yeah? But ultimately, I'll show you the real deal. So this is how it kind of is day to day, yeah? This is the world that we see, okay? So there are beings that have a deeper connection, closer connection to the source. They see and understand more of the game. They see and understand more of life. They bend reality to their will. Instant manifestors, they get it. They treat each other as one because they understand that they are one, because they know that they're different aspects of the one, not separate entities that think that they are them versus them and stupidness like that, okay? Now, let's assume that one of these low vibrational dummies wants to do something to harm another, yeah? Hold on. So let's say one of these low vibrational dummies, yeah, one of these fucking, let's say like a gang member, you know, some fucking rapey, fucking violent, abusive, stupid kind of person wants to harm another person, yeah? Let's call it machine X or person X, yeah? They want to impose their will, their negative will on another. They want to manipulate another or interfere in another's expression or being of life, yeah? Now, before I actually go forward, let me mention this. Hold on. Before I go forward, let me mention this. So that being is seeking to harm another being, yeah, for want of a better word. Let's say it wants to harm another being, because that being is in the lower bandwidth, the lower vibrations, doesn't understand the bigger picture. So it thinks that it's harming another one, but it's not really harming the other. It's harming the entire network. Because remember, all the devices are connected to each other and they're all connected back to the source. So that means if I interfere, harm, damage another device, I am damaging or harming or interfering with the entire network. Do you get it? Good. Now, think of it this way. There's a civilized village somewhere in the Amazon, somewhere in Africa, yeah? And let's say civilized, because the word civilized means living in harmony. It's not the Western fucking stupid idea of civilized, because that's just stupid. But they live in harmony. And let's say one person decides to commit a heinous crime against another, yeah, abuse somebody, rape somebody, harm someone, kill somebody, whatever. That one action is not taken against that one being. It's taken against the whole village. And if that thing is not rooted out and fixed, it can literally lead to the destruction and collapse of the entire village. It can't be argued with. Go and speak to anybody that knows anything. They'll tell you what I'm telling you is just true. Yeah. It even in the, I can't remember which book it was. There was something about even in the West. I think someone did some research on it called the broken window kind of analogy. So it's like if there's a broken window in an area, when that broken window is not addressed, it can cause significant problems just from a broken window in a neighborhood, just one broken window, because that broken window tells a story, yeah? So it's the same way in the network, yeah? If that issue is not fixed, it can cause lag, glitches, or ultimately it can even cause the whole network to collapse on itself, yeah? So it's imperative and it's highly, it's I don't even know the word to use. It's of the utmost importance for the network and the master source big God server thing to make sure that these things are rooted out and balance is restored, because otherwise the whole experience for consciousness or God being the master server actually having a human experience will collapse on itself. So what happens is this waste man, yeah, that thinks he's a gangster or roadman or some stupid fucker like that, some rapey asshole, some fucking abusive person, some prick, yeah, low vibrational, wants to harm another being. He's presented with a choice. Before I actually go to talk about the choices, at this level of the video game where you find yourself now, the only thing that we have the ability to do is to choose. We don't do anything else. If you can argue with this, come and let's have a conversation, but you're not going to win. Yeah, this is the only power we have here, to choose. Yeah, we don't do anything. We don't process our foods. We don't digest our food. We don't beat our hearts. We don't metabolize anything in our systems. We don't do anything. Everything else is done for us. All we have to do is eat and poop. But even the choice to eat is something we make, what to eat, but we know we have to eat. Yeah, the only thing we can do is to choose what we do, how we do it, but we have to do certain things. Yeah, so we have processes we need to go through, but we have the ability to choose how we go through the processes. That's the only power we have here. Argue with your mom, it's facts. So this asshole, this rapey fucking piece of shit person, is presented with a choice. He wants to go and harm somebody. Yeah, are you gonna do it or not do it? Yeah, in this very moment when he has this idea of, yeah, I'm gonna go shoot this person, I'm gonna go kill this person, I'm gonna rape this person, go beat this woman, do this person, whatever. Whilst he's having this thought, he thinks that he's going through the choice and stuff like that, but essentially, whilst he has the thought, something, because he's connected back to this, even if it's through his false beliefs, he's connected back to this thing knows instantly where he's at. Yeah, this thing knows where everything is at every given time. Yeah, this is the big God. This is consciousness having a human experience. This is low vibrational. So he wants to go and do the thing. The minute he has a thought, this thing knows. This thing takes immediate action. What happens is this: there is a pause in his reality. He will not see it, but it happens almost instantly. His reality is paused and the reality splits into two. I.e., the two choices are, it's almost like a cell division, yeah? A cell dividing. It splits into the two choices, the choice to make the decision and the choice not to make the decision, yeah? So the two realities become split and they go off in two directions. Let me show you how that actually works. So in the network, he is actually ring fenced, yeah? And the connection, one second actually, pardon the drone, is a bit crude, but it's all there. So he is immediately ring fenced, yeah, and this becomes his new reality. He doesn't realize it, but the connection between the devices is restored around him. The connection between that's made around him is the choice that he didn't do it, but the choice he did it is him being here. So both exist simultaneously, yeah. So he's still connected to the network, but he is actually quarantined. But the network has also made a connection around him. So two realities exist simultaneously. This happens also in the 3D, but I will explain. So there's a pause and then this happens, right? This happens because Big God actually wants this being to self-correct, because Big God is actually this being. They are not separate. So he's trying to make sure he gives himself a chance to recognize his bullshit and foolishness and come back to himself, and himself is one and the same. Now, he wants him to self-correct, yeah? So he will isolate him and self-correct. Hopefully, it happens. Say it doesn't happen, he carries on. The interference is then removed from the network, or it's ousted, or it's blocked, yeah? So now these connections are blocked and he's fully quarantined, yeah? He carries on his bullshit gang stuff and, you know, rapey, fucking abusey, animal stuff there. Then eventually the boundaries of this become solid, yeah? And he's left in there looping in his own cycles until he self-deletes or self-destructs or he evolves, which still comes back to self-correction. Because it's this very thing having an experience here. So he wants himself to correct himself. He can't kill himself. He can only self-destruct because he doesn't know who he has become. So he isolates him until he evolves or self-destructs, which is still his choice because he has given each one choice. So it ends up looking something like this, yeah? Quarantined. So this gang member, this arsehole, this piece of shit, this abusey, rapey person is in his own reality, yeah? His own bubble, thinking that it's actually still plugged into this. He doesn't know that the reality is actually splintered off into two. He doesn't know. So he carries on and he actually follows through with the murder or abuse, whatever. And he does it. So he's now on the track, the path of self-destruction. Yeah, he has to self-destruct. Or he evolves out of it and returns back to the server. Because, like I said, God can't kill itself. It can't rape itself or abuse itself because God is pure. God is one. God is the ultimate truth. So God actually creates a situation for lost God to run, to experience assimilation, yeah, based on his own beliefs, where he's actually followed through with the murder and he's gone to jail or he's on the run or whatever. So only this device feels the full weight of his choice. Do you get it? And I know some person will probably sit there and ask, well, I witnessed him kill someone, I witnessed him abuse someone, I witnessed this, da. These people the people that ask questions like that are not very intelligent, but let me explain anyway. So what's happened is this. Like I said, this being is the being that wanted to do harm to another. He gets isolated instantly, even before he actually takes the action. It's the choice, is what this takes the decision on. He is then isolated and quarantined. The other beings in the network still run as normal, but they witness him, yeah, almost like a cautionary tale, almost like a film, yeah, that they are watching of what happens when one of them gets so lost in an illusion and self-destructs. They watch it, but none of them can actually know for sure the weight of his suffering. Not only that, none of them can also confirm whether it's actually happening, because what they're experiencing is merely something they are observing. They're not actually experiencing it like he is. So it's no different from a movie, and a very immersive and convincing movie. Only he knows the full weight of his choice of trying to harm another. Yeah, so only he bears the weight of that cross in his isolation, in his quarantine. Yeah, in the 3D, it'll play out as this thing will be ousted from the network. He'll be placed in jail, exiled, ostracized, whatever, yeah, guillotined or whatever the case may be. And the others will witness that, and that will be a cautionary tale as to what happens when one tries to harm another, because it's just one experience. This is where that whole thing comes from. Go and bring whoever you like. They can't talk nothing to me, bro. So that's what actually transpires. Yeah? Do you see it? Now, here's the sweet part of the story. So let's say this guy now goes to jail and he actually goes there and he still carries on the path of self-destruction. He goes there and he's still like, yeah, I'm a gang member, blah, 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 stupidness, idiot, fucking animalistic, stupid shit. Carries on. He's still there. And eventually he dies or somebody kills him. Happy days, he's dead. But God can't die. So this machine is now wiped clean. The software has been corrupted. Yeah, so this software is completely deleted and reinstalled. But there's metadata in the device. Also, based on the way the software was running, there could have been overheating problems and stuff like that, which would have damaged maybe the sound card, video card, the disk or whatever. Yeah, so maybe this parts of this thing can actually also, the hardware can also be changed and refurbished or repurposed, right? Then new software is uploaded into this, yeah, downloaded into this. And at some point, this device wakes up again, yeah, forgetting that it's this being. It has no recollection of being this being. It just knows that it's in this almost fucking prison-like world, yeah. Dysfunction all around him, dysfunctional family, dysfunctional upbringing, fucking dysfunctional this, born in a war-torn area, lost both parents, or fucking got his leg chopped off, or fucking this, fucking that, fucking this, fucking that, fucking that. Fucking chaos and distortion, brr, constantly. Where did this chaos and distortion come from, bro? Tell me. So who's the victim here? What is he? What is this person complaining about? Because they think that they are innocent. They think that they are pure and innocent and holy. And that's true. At their core, they are. Because at their core, they know they are this, having an experience here. But why are they born into this chaos? They have no recollection that this happened. No recollection that this happened. So, once they self-destruct, because they occupy a unique space in the network, which this thing still wants to experience and still wants to have, this space will be reoccupied by the same software, but maybe in a repurposed or refurbished machine, but it's still the same thing. Yeah. Now this thing then is stuck in this crazy loop, yeah, of pain, suffering, all the rest of it. Oh, why did this happen to me? I don't know. But you've been placed on a different track and given a chance to evolve out of it, yeah, because you were on the previous track. You have a choice to endure all of it and come out, so you can be reintegrated back into this. So then the network can run smoothly again. Ideally at this level where you have a direct connection with source, not this level. So this happens for the prime reason for you to evolve. Whatever happened to you, your childhood trauma, this happened, that happened, this happened, it all happened for you to evolve. It's for your own good because you were self-destructing before. Yeah, and all that energy you put out into the network, it wasn't in the network. You put it in a quarantine cell called your experience, and you will have to come back and balance all of this out in order for you to be reintegrated back into the network. Now, if you don't balance this out and you sit there like one of these all these fucking roadmen, gangster types and fucking stupid people, yeah, I'm a product of my environment, I can't help it, people did this to me, victim. That means you're choosing not to go on this path. You're choosing to go back on this path of self-destruction and self-deletion, which is ultimately going to create more chaos in here, and then you're going to be put back into this device, and when you respawn, it's going to be even more chaos for you to rebalance, and it makes it harder for you to evolve out. Yeah. So it's up to you. But let's say you don't even do that and you keep doing this and there's so much chaos and here, right? And you eventually burn out this spot. Yeah, this machine, this hardware gets completely fucking damaged and you've destroyed the experience completely. In the wider network, this thing now knows that this aspect of itself will never evolve. So it will cancel it out from the network completely. And it's acquired the information that, okay, I wanted to experience what it was like to put software in these machines. When I put software in this machine of this configuration, blah, 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 I never evolve. Delete. Do you get it? Okay. And the reason why this is important is because you can't lie your way to heaven, bro. You can't lie your way to heaven. This is really important for the religious types, the I am anointed types, the fucking Jesus Christ people. Yeah, those people. They're all liars. You're lying to yourself. You can't lie yourself your way to heaven, bro. You and I both know that it's not tongues you're speaking. You and I both know that. Okay? You can bamboozle other people, but you and me, I know you're lying. You know I know you're lying. You can't lie your way out. You can't lie your way to heaven. So the evolution is key, right? Because until you balance the karma within your quarantine cell, you can't be reintegrated back into the network. So when I tell you that you've never seen the real world, It's not that you haven't seen the real world. You are all in your quarantine cell. Your cells. You've been in your cells the whole time. You've been in your pods the whole time. The Saturnian matrix is the pod. So until you balance your karma, and bro, take it from somebody that has actually walked into the fire, okay? You literally need to walk into it, bro, and balance it all off. And let me tell you something. Also, in your quarantine cell, the people you see, the NPC people, the scripted people, they're just that. Because you are not actually integrated into the higher fucking network. You are in a quarantine cell. So when things repeat for you, yeah, that's why things repeat for us here, bro. You know, you go to a job and then the boss is an asshole. You go to another job, the boss is an asshole in the same way, the same people, the same relationships, the same habits, the same patterns, the same friendships, the same betrayals. It's nothing to do with the people, because those people are just NPCs. They're scripted to get you to evolve. The same way the person that you harmed in the previous iteration was scripted, because God can't kill itself, God can't rape itself. So whoever you attacked was not the real person. It was a scripted NPC that you took your aggression or anger on, because the timeline split. Yeah, the circuit will have to rebalance. The network will have to be rebalanced around you, because there are no people. There are no people. But anyway, so that's what happens. So in your cell, when you see these patterns repeating, those NPCs are just, they're scripted programs designed to act as messengers to tell you, hey, check yourself in this direction. So when you go to that job and you have the repeating pattern, it's something to do with you. You're not maybe being authentic. So you need to be authentic in order for you to be on the path of evolution and reintegration. If you choose to be inauthentic and hide in your light, that means you're not balancing the chaos within your cell. You are still on the path of self-destruction, because hiding your light is, the light is burning you. The light is supposed to be shining out. Okay? That's how it works. So when you take out your anger on another person, you have not done anything, bro. God literally pauses, freeze frames the whole fucking the whole scene, tears it off, and then you are just raging against your own projections. They are just NPCs. They are not real people, because God can't harm itself. Nobody's ever killed anybody before. It's not possible. You've killed scripted programs, NPCs, like GTA type people. You've killed loads of them. We've killed loads of them. But to kill another conscious being, no, can't happen. Another God? No, God can't kill itself. And if you want me to tell you the bullshit and do talking baby fucking ground floor stupid stuff, we can, but we don't. We're talking high level matrix stuff. This is how the matrix works. So now that you're here and you're aware of your cell, your quarantine cell, you know the karma you need to balance. I can't tell you. It's just like the oracle said, nobody can tell you when you're in love. You just know it. Yeah, so you know the things you need to balance off. You know the person you need to call and apologize to. You know the fucking, loose ends you need to tie. You know the things that you need to, the people you need to make whole again. You know the things that you need to balance off. The apologies or this or that, this, the things you need to endure, the things you need to rebalance. You know all of them. Go and do them. Why do you think you know the things you need to do? If they weren't important? Stupid. Do you understand? So go and do them. Like now. Because once you do them, it kind of sends a message back to source that, hey, you are operating at the right frequency. You've self-corrected. You are aware that you are consciousness or God in a human computer having a human experience. You've become aware of it once again. You've awoken from the sleep. so you don't go around trying to harm another one, kill, rape, steal, destroy, fucking abuse, lie on, manipulate, deprive, harm, hurt, none of that. You've realized the truth now. Oh, you can't lie your way to heaven. You need to prove your way to heaven. You know? So once that's done, you can't pray your way to heaven either. So once that's done and it's true, because you can't lie, the thing will know and the thing will reintegrate you back into the network. That's how it works. Now, the question then becomes, okay, but the guy wanted to harm the other person. So where did the other person go? There was no other person because, once again, you are a whole reality. So it's realities. I am a whole reality connected to another whole reality, but it's just one reality. One reality. This is the reality itself, but different points of view. Yeah. So I'm just one point of view. You are another, so on and so forth. So if one point of view wants to harm another point of view, it can't. So it has to give me an illusion that it has, so I can bear the full weight of my choice. But it didn't actually happen. And I will never be able to confirm whether it happened or not, because this will be completely removed from my reality. Once I come back to full awareness and I realize that it is what it is, when I come across this person, let's say, I wouldn't even be surprised, because I will know the ultimate truth that it's not me, it's this.